Hey guys, back here in Arizona for episode 8. So episode 8 is going to be all about just the sweet single track that Arizona has to offer. So also with episode 8, we're going to be trying something a little bit new with the camera angle. I'm using the new GoPro Hero 9 and it's got horizon leveling, which is pretty rad because it's going to let me shoot everything in portrait mode and just kind of give us a new unique perspective. So take a look and let me know what you think. Leave a comment if you like it, if you don't like it. And we're just trying something new and wanted to see what you guys thought, so give us your feedback. So I had two friends come down from Oregon to ride with me down here in Arizona. Yeah, so Tommy came down on his 300 KTM TPI 2-stroke, and then Otis was here on his 500 EXC. Neither of them had ever even seen a cactus in their entire lives, so they definitely had a little bit of a rude awakening, I guess, coming down here. They're both used to hitting all the nice lush green Oregon bushes, and down here, I mean, everything has thorns and spines and will ruin your day if you run into it. What if I poke it?
No!
Does that hurt?
Don't, please.
I want to, though. I kind of want to.
I'll shove you in the cactus.
You're
pushing it in.
I'm not pushing it in.
Oh.
What'd you learn?
Nothing.
Check that glove. See? See?
Get it.
Hold still. God, careful. Like.
Where'd you take us, Otis?
Me? I'm not the one that took off my helmet.
Yeah, see, they're all stuck in your tire.
Don't you remember he said, what? They grow those little things everywhere.
And check, well, they all fell out of this death hole.
Oh.
So even though Tommy and Otis were on orange bikes, we won't hold that against them. It was just cool to come down and have some cool friends to ride with and see the spectacular scenery and diversity that Arizona has to offer. So it was super cool to come down to Arizona. I had gone to college at Arizona State, but I haven't been back really in about a decade. And so it was cool to reconnect with some of my old riding buddies. Basically, when I was planning this trip, I reached out to some people and was like, hey, remember me? You know, I want to come down and do some riding, me and a couple friends, and would you be game to go out with us? And so before I knew it, I was on a group text with a couple of my old riding buddies and then a bunch of people that we hadn't met before. And these guys really came together, man. I mean, super cool, tight-knit riding community down here in Arizona. They welcomed me and Tommy and Otis with open arms. And yeah, before we knew it, we had a ride lined up for every day. We actually had more rides lined up than we had days. So thank you to everybody that rode with us, and thank you to everyone that we even didn't get a chance to ride with. You know, we'll definitely catch you guys on the next adventure down here. But super cool just to meet some new people. Crazy welcoming. I mean, they'd take us on, you know, their best stuff, kind of their secret trails, if you will, or the private stash for the locals. And I mean, we were invited over for barbecues. We were staying at people's houses that we'd never even met, and it was just so cool for them to just welcome us in with open arms. So huge shout out to those guys. So the riders down here in Arizona definitely have a wide variety of terrain to choose from. Lots of single track. We rode almost all single track. And it really varied from, you know, fast flowing stuff to tight, technical, rocky, more hard enduro stuff. It seemed like the bike of choice down here was the 300 for all the locals, but honestly this 500 did killer. Even in like the tightest, gnarliest rocky sections, it was happy just cruising along. As you guys saw in episode 7, I worked to address my overheating issues that I experienced down in Baja, and I feel like I've completely fixed that stuff. So having the stock tank on definitely let way more airflow through, like I was talking, and then the Tusk digital thermostat kit really let me monitor the engine temperatures. So I had set the fan to come on at 190 degrees And it did come on, you know, multiple times during the trip. I mean, especially in like the really rocky, slow going stuff. But it was great. I was able to keep an eye on that temperature gauge. I never saw it get over 200 degrees. So the fan was really doing its job. It worked flawlessly. The coolant worked great. I mean, I never lost a drop because it never got over 200, so I never boiled anything out. Yeah, so that really checked all the boxes there as far as the overheating issues. I think I've solved those. And I think when I put the big tank back on, if I run the second fan, I won't run into any more issues there too. So pumped on that. A couple universal things about riding in Arizona. Number one, you don't want to even get close to any of the bushes or the foliage down here. I mean, it all has thorns, it all has spines, and it's all out to get you. So steer clear of the cactus, as we all found out. And even anything leafy and green, it's got thorns on it, and it'll just tear your arms up, man. It looked like we had gotten in a fight with the cat after day one, and it just continued to get worse from there. So I'm sure we'll be picking out cactus spines and bush thorns for the next month or so, but it was definitely worth it. Also, one thing the entire state has in common is it's just rocks, rocks, and more rocks. I mean, you name it. Big rocks, little rocks, embedded rocks, loose rocks, they're there ready to ruin your tires and try to tip you over.
He did.
Also lots of sand. Lots of sand washed, again, fine sand, coarse sand, and mixed in with those rocks that we talked about. 1 second you'd be in bottom of the sand, and then 2 feet farther ahead it looked like somebody spilled a bunch of concrete. Just super hard packed rock, and then right back into the sand again. So constantly changing conditions, but yeah, if you don't like sand and you don't like rocks, then I would skip Arizona. Okay, so the riding down here, definitely challenging. You've always got to be on your toes because the terrain is always trying to take you off the bike.
Whoops.
Me and the boys did have a couple tip overs during the week.
Ow! Oh shit! You okay, Otis? Woo!
It was tough because there was such cool scenery here. You'd be riding along and you'd want to like look out and see something because there's just some beautiful views, and like the desert terrain with the cactus and whatnot was just breathtaking. but you take your eyes off the trail for like a split second, and before you knew it, you were on the ground. So that was pretty fun. Okay, so running the stock tank, I mean, definitely nice because it made it feel a lot lighter and narrower than it did with the 5-gallon Safari tank, but it did obviously like cut my range down some. I did notice that the low fuel light did come on pretty quickly. It seemed like about 30 miles into the ride, the low fuel light would come on. And, you know, I think that light is just a little bit pessimistic because when I'd fill the tank back up, it seemed like it'd only take about a gallon, and it is a 2-gallon tank. So I'm not sure exactly if the low fuel light is just pessimistic or if I was burning that much fuel. But I think that with the stock tank, you're only going to be getting a 45 to 50 mile range. I never ran it completely out. I didn't want to damage the fuel pump by running it dry, so I just carry a half gallon of fuel with me, and that was enough for every ride that we did. So moving forward, IMS did make a 3-gallon tank for the 08 to 10 Husky models. So I'm thinking that will fit on this RS500 with a few modifications. Now IMS has since discontinued that tank, which is kind of a bummer, but you can find new old stock ones on eBay and whatnot. So I'm gonna order one of those guys up and have it sent out here, and I'll throw that on in an upcoming episode, go over that with you guys. And I really think that will get the fuel range that I'm looking for just normal trail riding. And then I think that'll be the perfect mix. I'll have the stock tank for the races, I'll have the 3-gallon tank for just general trail riding, and then I'll have the 5-gallon tank for big long adventures like Baja or the Tour of Idaho. So we want to give a special thanks to all the people that we rode with. So shout out to Mark, Eric, Kim and Vivian especially for letting us stay at the house and taking such good care of us. Jeff, Don, Rich, Ken, and Dave. Hey, you guys are all awesome. Killer trails. Thanks a ton. We'll definitely be back to ride with you guys. All right, so past that, I'll catch up with you guys soon. I've got some other adventure ideas cooking in the back of my head here, but no firm plans yet. But I'm working on some ideas for you guys, and either way, it's going to be cool when we get back together. So keep checking in on the SWM USA Facebook page or the latest news tab at www.swm-usa.com. And I'll catch back in with you guys soon on another cool adventure. So thanks a lot for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.